Oh my god! People recognize the P90 as one of the, if not the best gun in Battlebit Remastered, and I just unlocked this thing and I've been using it, and at first I was like, really? This thing, it doesn't seem like it hits that hard. But then I used it more and more, and I was like, I see why. Alright, so before we get into the video, I just got out of the shower, so that's why my eyes are watering. I just want to explain that. So what I mean by the P90 didn't seem like it hit that well when I first started using it was I was hitting the body. I did not know this thing had a 1.25 headshot multiplier. And when I started aiming for the head, oh, my whole view on this gun changed. So first off, let's go through the gun. As a level 125 unlock, you can't put a grip on it. I usually put like tactical barrel or something like that on it with like a red dot sight. Doesn't matter how you run it really though. Look at the range on this thing. It's like the MP5 pretty much. Almost the exact same range as the MP5. Let's compare the stats. It's got the same fire rate as the MP5 at 1 less damage per bullet. So initially you're like, what? But then you realize 1.25 headshot multiplier. And you also realize the reload time. Look at that, 3.83 seconds. Pretty fast. Yes, the bullet reload is a little slow, but I mean, SMGs and BDWs usually have pretty slow bullet velocity. And this thing has a 50-round magazine, which is what makes it the most formidable. Because if you can hit those headshots, you can kill pretty fast, which means you can get 5, 6, 7, 8 kills per mag. Now this thing with attachments on it, look at the recoil, I'm not controlling it. You see it does have a little horizontal, but not really, it's just pretty much straight vertical. The MP5 does have a little more range usability, even though they have the same range because the MP5 has no recoil, so you're going to hit a little more accurately at range. When you control this thing though, it looks like this. Not bad, but you see the horizontal does get you a little bit. Look at the reload time though. Pretty fast, much faster than MP5 in terms of reload. Look at me, if I hit this head, it kind of slaps low-key. And just like with the MP5, you're going to be able to hit, you know, pretty well from like 30, 50 meters in. You did notice, though, that it's a little shaky horizontally, so you got to get used to it. I'd recommend using like the AK-15 or something before you use this gun, so you're used to higher recoil, and then come back to this weapon. Alright, so let's get into the use case for the P90. So, the MP5's use case is pretty much all around, like, long range, like, pretty much 150 meters and in, you can use the MP5. It doesn't kill as fast from 100 meters out, but you can still use it at that range because it's so accurate. The P90, not that much the case. The P90, I would say, is about 175 meters in, you're going to be decently accurate with it. Anything beyond 75 to 100 meters, depending on how good you are at controlling recoil, the gun's not going to be terribly accurate for you, and I would say it's not worth using. But it's a personal defense weapon, a PDW, so it's not supposed to have insane range. Similar to assault rifles, I just think in Battlebit, if you find yourself spraying for a prolonged period of time at range, you're going to get destroyed by a DMR, a sniper, or M249 anyways, so I'm not too worried about this thing not being able to spray that long at range, because what it lacks in range, it makes up for in mobility, in reload time, and in mag size. This thing is going to be your bread and butter on maps like Namak, on maps like Frugus. It's going to be the gun that you're using in buildings that competes with the best SMGs in the game besides the Curse Vector and the Scorpion Evo, obviously. It's going to compete with some of the best weapons in the game if you hit the head. It's got that 1.25 headshot multiplier, and it's insane as such. Now, a lot of people call the P90 a crutch weapon, and I would not agree with that because, in my opinion, a crutch weapon is a weapon that you don't need it to have any skill with to do good with. It's a weapon that you could just point, click, and get eliminations with. Like, kind of like the M249, kind of like the MP5, right? Those kind of weapons that don't take much skill. The P90, you will not get the most out of this weapon unless you hit headshots with it, unless you're mobile, and unless you are constantly on the move. If you are just standing stationary and spraying and hitting body shots, you are going to get leveled by a lot of weapons. Therefore, to compensate for that, hit the head. The MP5, it does have a little bit of a headshot multiplier, but with the MP5, you get 1 more damage per bullet at the same fire rate as the MP5, so it's not as much of a priority that you hit the head because you're doing more damage per bullet. With the P90, you don't necessarily have to hit the head. If the enemy isn't looking at you right when you shoot them, or if they're shooting a bad weapon that doesn't do a lot of damage, you can still kill them. But if they're using an MP7 or an MP5 against you, you better make damn sure you hit a few headshots in there. That's why I say it's not a crutch weapon, because you actually have to have some skill to use this thing. Now, it is perfect for aggressive players like myself who don't like to sit back and spray. I like to get in the action, like to rush people, and it's perfect for players like me because I can go long periods of time without having to reload, and when I reload, it is faster reload than the MP5 and other mobile SMGs in the game. So I find myself not needing to reload as often. I find myself chaining 5, 6, 7 kills in one mag and then reloading. And if you have the Deagle on your side, or if you have the Glock on your side, you can make a little bit longer before you have to reload because you can get 1 or 2 eliminations with your sidearm, position, then reload. Would I call the P90 the best weapon in the game? No, I would call it a top 3 weapon in the game. I haven't used the FAL, but I've seen my friend use it a lot, and I've seen the stats on that thing, and I would say the FAL is the best all-around weapon in Battlebit, and then the MP5 is the second best all-around weapon in the game. If you're talking about the best at their niche, then it's a little bit of a different discussion, but if we're talking about best all-around weapons in Battlebit, the FAL has to be number 1 because of its usability, because of how much range it has, because it can one-burst, and because of the damage it does. It's insane. Number 2, I would put the MP5 because the MP5, in terms of all-around usability, is slightly better than the P90 because it's more accurate and it does 1 more damage per bullet, so you don't have to necessarily hit the headshots every time. You can spray a little bit at range. It has more range. You can therefore cross the street, get caught in an engagement where you have to flick and 50-50 someone, and you can win the engagement. Therefore, I'd say the MP5 is slightly better than the P90 on my tier list, but you also have drawbacks such as reload time and mag size, so it's a little bit of a give and take, but just because of the usability and how much better it is all around, I would say it's slightly better than the P90. And then next I would have probably the P90 or like an AK-15 kind of weapon as the third on my tier list in terms of like the best weapons in the game. And that's pretty consistent with the tier list video I made a week ago, actually, a little more than a week ago, where I put the P90, the FAL, and the MP5 all in the S tier. And it's turning out that I was right about that. These guns slap. And throughout the rest of the video, you're going to see some clips of me using this scene, and you're going to see why this scene is really good. And you're going to see, though, a little bit of that jitter left to right horizontally. But like I said, if you use like an AK-15 or a Scar H or something with a little bit of kick, an M4, something with a little bit of kick before you use the P90, you're not going to notice much recoil at all. And for anybody who plays FPS games that have any sort of recoil, you should be used to this kind of a recoil pattern by now, and you should be able to control it just fine. If you're an amateur player, well, you're going to not unlock this thing until you're level 125 anyways, so you'll probably have the hang of it by then. So, very good weapon. Let's get into the rest of the video. Oh my... This thing just slaps if you hit the head, though. Hello, bullets? That's where this gun excels. If you can hit the head like that, it destroys. I gotta aim for the head more. I might have gotten off on the wrong foot with this thing. See, every time I think, oh, the P90's not that good, it doesn't hit that hard or whatever with it, I look at the scoreboard and I'm almost always top fragging with it. So it's one of those guns that I'm like, I want to hate, but I can't. Thank you for watching so much. Let me know if you enjoyed the video in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the P90. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for watching so much. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And I do stream every day almost on Kick. I stream Battlebit and I also stream here on YouTube. My Kick is kick.com/cgm. Go check it out and I'll see you next.